All right, we'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, would you open in prayer?
Yes, sir. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessings that you bestowed on each and every one of us and this county. Lord, we ask for your guidance today. We have decisions to make that will impact the county. We ask for your guidance. We ask all of these things in thy heavenly precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And welcome to a brand new month. It is September 1st.
There you go. That's quite
Thank you. Can we get started with our meeting by the approval of the minutes from August 25th?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of August 25th submitted.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi.
In the matter request for appropriation transfer of funds,
Any comments or questions on item 2? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter request for fund transfers,
Any comments or questions on the fund transfers? Hearing none.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter request to attend meetings or trainings,
Any comments or questions on item 4? Hearing none.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter request for appropriation of funds,
Mr. Davis, you have a question regarding one of the appropriation requests. This is linked to the Franklin Furnace Park, the park down by the dam. It is the $95,000 of the ARPA request that we passed the resolution last week, so this is the appropriation. It in collaboration with the $200,000 from capital budget will help to pay for the park.
That's where I was.
Playground
I was in.
You're like that. I know that's not enough, but
Yeah.
combining the two
Right, okay.
gets us there.
Okay.
Any other questions regarding our appropriations? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of notification from the
see
Ohio
it.
Division of Liquor Control regarding Collier Sports Entertainment LLC doing business as Fuzzies.
This is a notification for permit type. It's a new D5 permit for Collier Sports and Entertainment doing business as Fuzzies. 1661 State Route 522 in Porter Township. They're requesting whether or not to have a hearing will be requested by the Board of Commissioners. Any comments or questions? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution declaring and reaffirming Scioto County's continued commitment, partnership, mission, and shared vision of JDISO.
I got a resolution here somewhere. Sorry. All right, we've had a great relationship with JDISO over the past, is it 10 years? Longer than
Yeah.
that?
Roughly.
Roughly 10
Nine,
years?
Almost 10.
And through Floor BWXT, there is a bid process out right now for who the next contractors will be out there, vendors will be out there. Part of that bid process is that they have to present basically some remediation money, economic development money set aside. This is a resolution, and it looks like it'll end up being a joint resolution between the 4 counties involved. I think Jackson has already voted to support this resolution, but it is the 4 counties supporting JDISO. So I'm going to read this resolution so we can kind of hear the impact JDISO has had in our county since 2013. Whereas understanding the importance and strength and unity, JDISO was formed to bring a call to action for Jackson, Pike, Scioto, and Ross counties in regard to economic development. And whereas since that time, the joint efforts of these counties, their elected leadership, in collaboration with their economic development practitioners, and most notably Floor BWXT, have delivered extensive results for Southern Ohio. And whereas since 2013, Jediso has made a total investment in Scioto County of $705,871 toward an overall captured capital investment. So once again, $705,000 that ended up helping support $289,697,747. These contributions had led to 660 jobs retained and 313 jobs created throughout Scioto County. Whereas while some changes are anticipated with the DOE Portsmouth site in the coming months, the Scioto County Commissioners, along with Scioto County Economic Development Partnership, remain extremely optimistic about the vital collaboration that Jediso has shared with the site's managing contractor over the course of time. And whereas the Scioto County Commissioners look forward to a new chapter with continued investment in our communities through Jediso. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Scioto County Commissioners support and remain committed to Jediso because we see the strong economic impact that this partnership provides our contingency. Be it further resolved, the Scioto County Commissioners celebrate what has been, but believe in what the future holds for Scioto County and all of Appalachia as we move forward on this, the first day of September, the year of our Lord 2022. Any additional comments or questions regarding this resolution?
Just thank Jediso for what they do for the counties that were mentioned. Wanted to thank Floor for their generous participation.
Any additional comments?
Yes, I mean, Jediso has been instrumental in our region to foster economic development. One reason that it works so well is that at the heart of Jediso are all of the economic development professionals from each county that work together literally on a weekly basis to bring their projects to the board, and then for that steering committee to actually approve those projects. They work very well, very unselfishly. If they see a project that has more potential than, say, another one in another county, they'll, for lack of a better word, they'll juggle and figure out how do we get the funding in the right place. They'll take care of the most priority project. Maybe one's not exactly ready yet and doesn't need the funding right away. They'll make sure that the funding gets steered a certain way. But none of this would be possible without Floor BWXT. None of it. Their commitment to the communities has been huge. Literally millions and millions, tens of millions of dollars have been funneled into the communities in the 4-county region over their tenure there. Of course, that contract is up and is being negotiated now. We are very much working toward making sure that Jediso continues to be a strong entity in the region. They have made a huge difference in our region. We are able, through their efforts, to offer something that a lot of areas can't, as far as incentives for employers to come and locate here in Scioto County, Jackson County, Pike County, Ross County, and that literally, in a lot of cases, and here in Scioto County, it's made a big difference for several companies. It really has. It was the difference between them setting up shop or not setting up shop, expanding their operations or not expanding their operations. And because of that availability of revenue to help where really grants in other areas can't help, or the timeline is way out there in order to get that grant money through Jediso, it's a lot quicker, it's a lot faster. So we've had a lot of jobs added through that, and is what was mentioned in the resolution. And it's a great model for economic development in our region, and it's homegrown. You know, I remember when they first started, and it kind of languished a little bit at first, but then finally everybody got their heads together, and it was around 2015 when everybody got their heads together and really started getting this thing rolling, and it's really taken off. Jennifer Jacobs was very involved at first up in Jackson, and of course Sam Brady does a great job in leading the charge now. And of course, our own Robert Horton is very, very, very involved. The commissioners from each county are very involved, and we have had some really, really big wins in Jediso, and we look forward to future ones. And one of the things we really want to focus on in the future is the development of the A-Plant site, the port site, and we really want to focus there and make sure that everything that can be brought to bear to get that site redeveloped is happening, and working with SODI and other partners in the area, I think we're going to be able to do that in a very great and appreciable way. And it's only going to mean more jobs and secure jobs at the site. Sauter County has over 1,100 workers working, more than any other county in our region, working at the port's site, and we need to secure those jobs and the jobs that will come in the future through redevelopment.
Thank you for that.
I'm going to turn down the temperature.
Turn down the temp.
It's hot.
All right,
I'll be right back.
we're taking a air conditioning break.
I'll make a motion.
To approve the
To
resolution.
adopt, yes.
I got a motion.
And I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Mr. Davis? He said, was that an aye?
Guys,
You're voting.
I'll second.
You already did. This is
Aye.
for the
Aye.
vote. There you go.
All
Ms.
right.
Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye. Thank you.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds, moral obligations, and the then and now certificates in the total amount of $338,460.34.
Any comments or questions on item 8? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of appointments and appointments to the Sauter County Planning Commission,
We have 2 appointments to consider for the Planning Commission. These names come by way of our Sauter County engineer, Darren LeBrun. We can choose to take them together or separate after we talk about them. First is Matt Reiser. This is for a 2-year term. Matt is the, I don't know what his official title is, Director of the Byway?
Big shot.
Big Shot of the Byway.
Yeah.
Matt, you're gonna get that on a business card one day. Big Shot of the Byway.
He's head
So
honcho.
he's responsible for maintaining the byway over there. And then also east.
Bypass.
Bypass, not byway, sorry. Whatever. Big Shot of the bypass.
Yes.
And then we also have Ethan Nelson for a 1-year term. Ethan works in the engineers department. A lot of what the planning commission does is really engineering based in terms of how many driveways you can have off the road or an intersection, and it's very, I mean, they're doing some math and figuring out what's right, they're looking at lots, splitting lots, different types of things. So both of these gentlemen and their backgrounds in construction and engineering, I think, is a good step for that board. Any comments, questions?
I just welcome their expertise.
Yes. Absolutely.
And is it the pleasure of the board to take both these gentlemen at the same vote?
It is.
All right, so can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution authorizing the Sauter County Sanitary Engineer to execute the administrative order on consent under Clean Water Act regarding the Wheelersburg wastewater treatment plant.
This is we're ratifying the August 18th signature for Sauter County Engineer J.P. Picklesheimer, and authorizes the execution of administrative orders of consent on behalf of the commissioners. This is specific into the Wheelersburg wastewater treatment plant. They had some construction there that they had to do, and they're working with the EPA on some different items while they're going through that construction phase. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting an amended certificate from the Budget Commission.
Any comments or questions on item 11? Hearing none?
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In a matter of change order for Sauter County Road 540-0.53, Barclay Road Extension 2, regarding the Sauter County Engineer.
This is a change order from the Barclay Road Extension 2 for the Soda Valley paving for additional quantities for undercuts in areas of unstable subgrade in the amount of $30,938.13, and additional work on the county's sanitary sewer plant in Memphis in the amount of $39,000 for total change orders of $69,938.13. That brings the total contract change order to $312,663.65. Any comments or questions?
What's the additional work on the county sanitary sewer plant?
They're connecting the paving from the road all the way back into the paved area of the plant. So they're connecting all the way into the fenced area as well to finish out the road there. It was going to kind of stop right at the fence, is my understanding, talking to our engineer.
I think there was some piping or something
Yes, they're
involved too.
moving the line
Piping
too.
and stuff,
They're-
yeah.
They're gonna be moving the fence line
Yeah.
too. That's the.
Correct.
Yes, okay, all right. Okay.
Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of agreement between the Sauter County Commissioners and Horizon for fiber service for the female detention center regarding the Sauter County Sheriff's Department.
That's a project the Sheriff's Department's been working on, specific to the female detention center. This is for the fiber contract between the Commissioners and Horizon Fiber Services, $500 a month for 60 months. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
$6,000 a year?
500 a month would be 6,000 a year. That's correct. And that's for the whole campus.
Is there a reason why we're going with the Horizon?
And was that the recommendation of the sheriff? Is that who they also use at the
Sheriff's
at the
Department.
jail as well?
They do because of the 911 aspect, but this building is not a 911 facility.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if there was a competitive bid or anything like that done on that fiber service.
Would you
I
like
don't
to
have
table?
to.
I mean, we could table and ask. And
Don't have to, it's less than 50, but
That's
still.
right. It's probably a continuity for their billing to use the same vendor over their multiple properties. I understand the concern.
Mhm.
Let's just table it and make some
Ask the
inquiries.
question.
Let's ask the question, yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to, we have Spectrum here, and it's very close to there. And Horizon has to buy access to these lines where Spectrum already owns them. So I'm a little concerned whether or not they can be competitive with Spectrum on this.
This is the fiber installation as well. But yeah, we can, if you want to table for now, and we can ask the sheriff, get
Yes.
clarification,
I would
Jen,
like to
from the
ask
sheriff.
that question.
Okay. So we have a motion to table?
I'll second.
Second, or, yeah, okay. Motion to table, yes.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution regarding the expenditure of American Rescue Plan fiscal recovery funds regarding Sauter County Regional Water District Number 1, otherwise known as Water 1.
This is the board establishes that the Water One sub-grant program to make necessary investments to water infrastructure consistent with requirements of Section 9901 of the American Rescue Plan Act. The sum is $685,000. Will be appropriated and encumbered to Water One sub-grant program for the upgrade of water storage tank, supervisory control and data acquisition system associated with the tank storage structure and security for the water. This project will provide needed capacity out at the SOAR Business Park. What we have now and what is going in there, essentially what we're running into is that we will quickly not have capacity for additional expansion due to concerns with fire suppression. So another tank is necessary to start building out that process. Commissioner Davis, I know you're also working on trying to find some EDA funding. Don't know if you want to talk about that at this point, specific for the whole project. There's a couple phases. This is for, the reason we're looking at this now is due to the lead time to get a tank. You're looking at close to a year or more to get a tank, get it up, get it operational, take the other tank offline, get it rehabbed, and then, of course, there's additional considerations with running lines. Once we complete this water program, essentially the SOAR Business Park will be fully, we won't need additional infrastructure, is my understanding, in terms of water to service that park. So this will complete the business park in terms of water infrastructure. Commissioner Davis, if you want to share additional information there.
We had a meeting with EDA yesterday, and I really appreciate the work of EDA and their efforts on our behalf. The monies that we're talking about is roughly around 2.5 million that we're working on. There is a 50% match on that money, so we're working on that right now. EDA specifically works toward projects like this for different areas. So we are working hard with them, and we've done some pre-application processing, but it's all about timing. It really is about timing. EDA money probably won't be made available, and there are so many ifs, ands, or buts about EDA money, because a lot of that money has already been spent in this fiscal year. The new fiscal year starts in October. That sounds good, like, you know, we'll have an application in and ready to go, and a project ready to go. Problem is, this is federal money, so there's considerations on continuing resolutions from Congress, depending on the, literally depending on the election. You can have a lot of things happen with funding sources. If there's a CR, continuing resolution, then what has happened in the past is a bucket of money is there that is assumed to be similar to past funding, nothing concrete. So we'll see. We're also working on a CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, possible $500,000 there. Just found out about that. Thank you, John Kerry from the Governor's Office of Appalachia. OVRDC is working on this as well. Jessica Keaton, John Hemmings, and their team is working on this as well. Of course, our Economic Development Office is working on this as well. Everybody's working together to try to find a total project cost of $4.5 million, which is up there. Now, this $685,000 is part of that $4.5 million. So the ask has gone down. This is ARP money, which is totally acceptable to be used for the park. So we're whittling it down, but we're trying to find as many sources. This is called stacking, by the way, when you stack your funding and try to find as many sources as possible, so that we're not looking at general fund, or, you know, we're trying to do our best to keep the costs down and do it through grants. It is needed badly, Mr. Chairman. The water tank in Memphis has exceeded its life span. They can probably get a little bit more life out of it, but that tank is done. It's the one that's above Shoemakers there on 139. Everybody that lives in that area will know exactly where I'm talking about. But Water One has done the engineering, they've done the quotes, they've done the work. We're going to work with them as a co-applicant. We're going to go after the money. Install a secondary tank. That tank will add pressure to the line, but at the same time reline the old tank, which will give it another 40 years, 50 years of life, and that will increase capacity majorly down the line. That'll help the park. That's a lot of water line to lay, so that's a big part of it. We have a railroad to contend with. We have to get under the railroad, which we have easements there. We think it will be able to be okay there. But we also have to have redundancy in the park, and it's not as simple as running a single line to a company. You have to have a main line, and then you have to have redundancy, so that if there is interruption in one company, that can be valved off and not affect other companies that are in the park. So there's a strategy that comes into play here too, as far as how you do your water lines, and that you don't affect anyone down the line. As far as water pressure. So Water One's on top of it, and we're getting it. We're chasing this thing. This is going to be huge for the park. It really will, and it'll impact economic and community development in the northeast and eastern part of our county for decades in the future. So this is a huge water project that we need to do, and we're working on it, and it's been a long time. It has been a long time since something like this has been done. So yeah, that's the update. We're working on it.
Thank you for that update. what I'll add, appreciate Robert Horton, Economic Development Director. He has his hand on the pulse of really all the activity happening out there at Store Business Park. And he's expressed, I know to myself, and I'm sure to both of you, hey, we're running out of capacity. We have a lot of people that are interested in figuring something out there. But if we don't have water to offer, they will go elsewhere. So once again, it's also an economic development play as well as community development play, and keeps the momentum rolling out there in Memphis, taking advantage of the bypass and the infrastructure there. So thank you, Robert Horton. With that, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt. This is item 15, right? Yeah, motion to adopt.
And I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of amended resolution regarding the expenditure of American Rescue Plan fiscal recovery funds regarding Water One.
So that was item 14. Item
Yeah.
15 is some clarification language. And Water Prosecutor's Office, Maggie Miller, has been awesome in keeping all of our resolutions straight, our language straight. And she just had to clean up some ARPA resolution language. Essentially, the wastewater treatment plants, what this resolution does is move that language over to our lost revenue, the $10 million lost revenue. And then the water tank is actually coming out of outside of lost revenue just because of the requirements within ARPA. So Maggie's been working very hard and making sure we stay in line and compliant and checking all those boxes. It's a ton of work, and she gets it to us frequently. So thank you, Maggie. Any additional comments or questions on this one?
Is this in regards to the Water One, or is this in regards to wastewater?
So this is cleanup language.
Water.
So the water tank, it was a different path to take if we tried to take it out of the $10 million
Gotcha.
lost revenue.
Okay. All right.
So it's essentially shifting the wastewater to that bucket, this to the other bucket. It's really for auditing purposes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any additional comments, questions?
No, sir.
Hearing none, can I get a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt the amended resolution.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of sub-grant agreement between the Board of Scioto County Commissioners and Scioto County Regional Water District Number 1 regarding American Rescue Plan fiscal recovery funds.
Since we did pass item number 14, to approve the expenditure, this is the sub-grant agreement with Water One, that they will need to be following all the ARPA requirements, federal procurement laws, all those things. So this is the sub-grant agreement saying that they will be in compliance with ARPA guidelines as well. Comments, questions? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye. We do have an executive session for item 17. I'm going to skip over that for now because I don't know how long it'll take. I would like to say, hey, Kelly, how are you? We have Kelly Smith in the room. Kelly is with Robert Sprague's office, Ohio Treasurer. Thank you. It's always a pleasure when you come down. I know you said you didn't want to say anything, but I'm going to ask you anyway if you want to share anything.
Second warning.
If you do, we have a microphone. I know we have some AgLink information here that the treasurer's been working on and some other things. So if you have anything to share.
Well, just real quick about the AgLink program that we have. It's a link deposit program. Farmers can get up to 3% interest rate reduction, which interest rates are going up, so this may actually help. They've changed the application period to year-round, so we've got a lot more response now to that. And we have included cooperatives, so they can take advantage of it as well. And I think that is mainly all of the updates. Some of the things that the AgLink loan can be used on. operational costs, including feed, seed, fertilizer, fuel, and equipment. So those are some ideas if people were interested in applying. If anybody's interested, they can get a hold of me, or they can go to our website, ohiotreasurer.gov/aglink. And we are working with our stable team. Our stable account is a savings plan for people with disabilities. It allows them to save money and not lose their benefits. So we've been promoting that with all our board of DDs. Actually with lots of people this past couple months, and we've got a lot of good response. That program is growing. So yeah, that's really all I have for this visit. So thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for sharing. And as Kelly said, AgLink, our agricultural community is vital to Sauter County, and this is an opportunity to get a 3% reduction and up to 3% reduction. I know with the rising inflation costs, that can mean everything between a good season and a not so great season. So up to $500,000.
That's huge.
That's massive. Yeah.
And I also see where there's a veteran preference available, so veterans could potentially have preference in doing so. But this is huge, and our farmers are really taking it on the chin right now with cost. We hear a lot about it. And now, does the OSU Extension Office know about this? Okay, and then Soil and Water. They come in contact with the farmers a lot too.
We have done some outreach.
Okay.
emails, that kind of thing. So yes, they are aware of it. It's just keep promoting this to farmers.
Yeah, this
Word of mouth.
is big.
That's great.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. And thank you, Treasurer Sprague.
Yes.
Any questions? I'm going to keep going to questions if that's okay with my colleagues here. Any questions, items on the agenda? On agenda? We'll call them off agenda. All right. Any items off agenda?
Josh Lawson, regarding the proposed Children's Services levy, how do you plan to educate the public about the need for this levy? Will any specific media channels be used to get the word out prior to the election? And how can supporters help get their neighbors on board?
Yeah, that's a good question. We actually, there is a CPS levy committee that is working toward that. I'm sure they'll be releasing some information and promoting the CPS levy, and also with talking points and why it's necessary. I think at the very highest level when we're talking about it, we need to keep in mind that it's about kids. Once again, it's not a partisan issue. It's about kids, and right now we have the funding for 130, and we've had a really bad or good month, however you want to look at it. Good that we've removed kids, bad that the number has gone up. We're in the 380s again. So we're keeping kids safe, but at the same time, with that comes a cost. And, it is up to the voters of Sauter County to choose what that priority is and what that support is. And I truly believe the people of Sauter County want to make sure our children are protected. So that's the very high level talking point is, hey, there's clearly not enough money. It's been linked to opioids. We know that. Most of the cases, there is some element of opioid abuse, whereas 10 years ago, it wasn't that. And we've seen the numbers explode. So we're working diligently with CPS and JFS from the operations side to fix things. I can tell you the first request that we heard that the levy request was going to be was an additional 3.5. As you're well aware, it's actually a one renewal with a 2 additional. So instead of that 4.5 we were essentially looking at, is really what we've put on as a 3. So there has been some reduction there, but the numbers are still very high, and we're still taking care of children. And if the voters choose not to support it, we are mandated to provide care for kids. So that money has to come from somewhere, and that somewhere is the general fund, and that helps with all the other things people do enjoy. Stuff that we help support with the sheriff, stuff we support through economic development, stuff we support through recreation. Some of the support we provide to different nonprofits and grants and
Courts,
courts and
auditor,
really,
treasurer,
I mean,
recorder.
think about a county office and it could be impacted, and the amount we're talking about is it 12% of our operating budget?
11 to 12%.
11 to 12% of the operating budget, if the levy doesn't go through, is what we're going to have to look. So what that means is a potential 11 to 12% reduction in operating budget to ensure we have the money necessary to take care of children. I mean, that's the reality of what we're dealing with. Once again, their levy hasn't been touched in years, not even close. And it's time Sauter County steps up and takes care of our children. They're suffering, they shouldn't be, and this money is directly to fund the care that keeps them safe. So we would continue to ask for support for this levy. But there will be communications coming through the different media channels. Any additional questions? That's it? All right. With that, we will
Let's recess. We'll have to
recess.
recess so you can do your appointments, and then after the 10:30, we'll reconvene and go into executive session.
we'll recess so we can do the appointments. Let's go ahead and go into executive session.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we have time.
Okay.
I'm looking at the schedule.
Okay,
I think we have time.
okay, very good.
So can we get a motion to go into executive session to consider the promotion appointment of a public employee according to ORC 121.22 G1?
I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, it's 10:11 a.m. Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. We'll be going to executive session at this point. We will return eventually. Thank you. All right, welcome back. Can I get a motion to exit executive session?
And return to
And
regular
return to
session.
regular session. Thank you.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And it is 11:16 a.m.
All right.
So Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Hi.
So, in the matter of promotion of a public employee for the Community Development Director position upon their acceptance.
Any additional comments or questions regarding a potential promotion opportunity regarding their acceptance? Comments or questions? Hearing none. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. Thank you. And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy River Days. We didn't even get there, but enjoy River Days.